Hi, and welcome to our presentation on learning analytics. The technical term for learning analytics is an educational application of web analytics aimed at learner profiling, a process of gathering and analyzing details of individual student interactions in online learning activities. Basically, it's used to measure and collect data with the goal being to improve teaching and learning practice. Learning analytics is a compilation of web analytics that science is using to analyze activities, identify different trends, and predict consumer behavior. However, we're now seeing learning analytics being applied in educational facets, aiming to collect data about individual students. The overall purpose is to build better pedagogies, target at-risk students, and to provide insights into student progress and interaction. There are different types of data collection for learning analytics, and here are a few. Behavioral data from online learning systems include discussion forums, activity completion, and assessments. Functional data includes data from student admission systems and progress reports. Here's a video from LinkedIn showing how company data analysis can be used at the university level.
Company. Because our members on their profiles tell us where they went to school, what they studied, their degrees, and everything that they did in their careers afterward, we have a large-scale evergreen database of career outcomes of educations worldwide, more than 23,000 schools. We also have active and engaged members, 23,000 universities and millions of companies that are on the site that can together help these students really start to have a data-based and a network-based way of finding the right path.
Let's take a look at what learning analytics does. First of all, it provides educators with quantitative intelligence so they can make decisions about what to focus on in student learning. It measures, collects data, and analyzes that data about learners. We can then use that data to create personalized learning experiences, predict behaviors, and come up with learning interventions to help students if they are struggling. Data is collected about student behavior, and then statistical methods are applied by using predictions modeling, social network analysis, relationship mining, and human judgment. Now that we know what it does, let's take a look at the benefits and drawbacks that it has. Some of the main benefits include improved e-learning design. We can predict a student's performance. It provides learners with a personalized learning experience. It increases student retention rates. It can improve future e-learning courses, and it's cost efficient. A few benefits for students specifically include an improved student experience. It's cost efficient for the students as well, and it can help analyze research. Learning analytics can be very useful for teachers in how they cater material to their students. In 2014, Olive Shred said, "Adding analytics and data visualizations to the mix won't suddenly make teachers into data analysts. Rather, the promise is that access to more and better data and the capability to visualize it in more meaningful ways will make teachers better able to perform the data analysis that they've been doing all along." Drawbacks to learning analytics include ethical issues such as privacy, de-identification of data, and informed consent. Security issues because students are being profiled. Other concerns, to name a few, are creating a generalized profile of successful and unsuccessful students. Learning analytics could add a set of data-driven expectations, and it might seem threatening to students who know that they are being tracked by data. Legal and ethical issues like FERPA also need to be addressed before faculty or institutions can make use of certain student data. For example, who does the data belong to, and once it's been warehoused, who is allowed to have access to it? A deeper concern is to ask if we are using the learning analytics solely to measure students' learning or attempting to boost student retention and course completion at the university level. Despite the drawbacks, learning analytics is flourishing in popularity. Here's a short clip about why learning analytics is becoming so popular.
Here's some much easier. Data also point out areas that need more attention. For example, millions of children are still not in school. What's holding them back? We work with partners in countries with high exclusion rates to collect a wide range of data and information. With detailed profiles of out-of-school and at-risk children, governments can address the factors that perpetuate inequality and tailor plans to ensure that every child enjoys the right to education. But that's still not enough. Data tell us that millions of children are leaving school without a basic grasp of reading and mathematics. How can we expect these children to compete in today's rapidly changing job market? Many countries conduct learning assessments, but right now there is no way to compare results on a global scale. So, we've begun working with partners to link different assessments and develop global measures of learning, which will enable countries to monitor student progress and strengthen policies to improve learning outcomes. This is no easy task, but if we do it right, every student, teacher, and school will have the chance to excel. We produce data to transform lives.
As you can see, the popularity of learning analytics is increasing each year, in part because of the government. The U.S. Department of Education's National Education Technology Plan is currently envisioning ways of using data from online learning systems to improve instruction. Here are some more videos you can watch on your own about the popularity of learning analytics. So, what might topple learning analytics off of the radar next year? Well, some of the major drawbacks that we talked about, like privacy and security issues, and the dangers of big data. Here's a video clip explaining why we need to be involved in the talk about collecting data. Although he doesn't reference education specifically in the video, the same underlying concerns are presented.
As an example, in my book, Human Face of Big Data, of a gentleman who has a wireless pacemaker. So throughout the day, his pacemaker transmits his data to his doctor. So he decided that he would measure his exercise, his sleep, his alcohol consumption, and then see if he could map it against when his pacemaker kicked in. So he called the manufacturer and said, could I have a copy of the data you've been collecting about my heart for the last 6 months, because I want to see if any of my behavior affects it. And they said, sorry, sir, this is our proprietary data. He said, wait a second, this is my heart. You've been collecting data about my heart. And they're refusing to give it to him. So that's an interesting story about him in particular, but it kind of speaks to this larger issue of who does own our data, who's benefiting from it, who's trading in it, and why do we have no say, one, over who gets it, and shouldn't we benefit it? And maybe if I got 10% of Google's selling my browser history, I'd be happy about it. But it seems like this conversation is not happening amongst us, and I think it needs to be.
Now that you're aware of some major concerns, let's take a look at the use of learning analytics in education and training. At the top here are a few resources you can check out in your own time. And in this chart, we have Moodle Analytics, and you can look through and see exactly what percentage of data is being used by whom in the educational system. We have a few more videos here below. Feel free to look at some of those in your own time. We'd like to show you just one more clip showing how professors and other college personnel are using learning analytics from an educational standpoint, and how we can use this in primary schools as well.
So all of this sets up the promise of learning analytics. So what are learning analytics about? I like the simple definition from Eric Duval from Belgium. Learning analytics is about collecting traces that learners leave behind and using them to improve learning. Now, the intent here is to enable personalized adaptive learning pathways through online learning systems that can better support learning for everyone. Through courses that are in learning management systems or MOOCs, from learning platforms ranging from the Khan Academy to things like Dreambox Learning or Newton Math Readiness or any one of a number of nonprofit curricula. And learning analytics is all about patterns and prediction, using algorithms to identify the pattern in the data to infer a learner's knowledge, their intentions, their interests, in predicting what should come next, and providing the appropriate response or learning resource to advance their progress. It's about recommended learning resources. It's about more engaging and inspiring learning. A lot of people are working on learning games that are tied to these standards. There's a project called the Glass Lab that the Electronic Arts is running with, of all things, the Educational Testing Service, looking at learning games in mathematics. And can we identify students' difficulties early and provide the kinds of support needed for success to reduce the issues of dropouts and of boredom?
Here is one more video about learning analytics and the use in education. This is from a superintendent's point of view, so check that out if you have time as well. Lastly, here's our contact information if you have any questions. And here is our resources page should you want to find out more about learning analytics on your own. Thank you for watching, and we hope you've learned a little bit more about learning analytics.